Hi, hello. Um, Wanted to come at you guys briefly today, give it to you again. Got a couple updates, just wanted to let y'all know. I think Byron's also again somewhere today. I mean, I guess when you got what he got, it take a couple days to count all the money. So that's what he's doing right now, by the way, in case you guys were wondering. But wanted to come back to you again with the bulletproof wholesale and real estate. This is a contact sport. So I will be short and sweet. I ain't got a lot of time. Ain't getting a lot of sleep these days because we just grinding. but yo, special guest in the building. Shout out to Bobby Mack, man. Shout out to Bobby Mack, man. But I did want to kind of talk a little bit about, again, we bringing back the bulletproof wholesaling because we're starting to get the market. It doesn't matter what the market is doing, by the way. That's the whole concept and point of bulletproof wholesaling is it doesn't matter what the market's doing. But obviously, depending on what the market is doing, there are some things that will adjust and there are some things that will remain solid, consistent, firm, right? And so with the bulletproof wholesaling concept, it was just things that we realized as we just went through ebbs and flows and changes, what's staying the same. And I'm gonna tell you this, dude. Contacts equal contracts. At the end of the day, that's all it is, man. That's all it is. And it's about saying, I have a business idea. And this is true for wholesaling. And I think I mentioned this the other day. If you got a lemonade stand, if you were selling books, hats, t-shirts, if you wanted a tech company to open up a tech company, you want to tint windows, or you want to manufacture your own brand of electric vehicle, whatever you want to do, it's a contact sport. You need to get known. You need to be out there. And as we got a quote that we always quote from Grant Cardone, if they don't know you, they can't flow you, right? So if people don't know what you have to offer, how can you be of service? Real quick, I do have a question for anybody who's watching this now or in the future. If you had unlimited money and you were going to buy yourself a car, what car would you get? If you had an unlimited budget, you can buy any car, nothing was there's nothing off limits. What car would you get? All right? Think about that. And I guarantee you, just basic principle, you didn't pick a car that you didn't know. You picked a car that you know. That's all you could pick. That's all that's readily available is the ones that you know. Likewise, if a seller is saying, hey, I want to sell my house. I need to sell my house. Who am I going to sell my house to? 10 times out of 10, they're going to say stuff that they already know. They're generally going to go off of stuff like, oh, I'm going to go list it with a realtor. They don't even know all of the options available, let alone are they going to be able to just say, hey, I'm going to call Bobby Mack or Cordero, you know what I mean? Or Byron Scott, Open Resi, REI next door. It's like the more we're known, the better we're known, the more likely people can use our business, our resources that we have to help people. That's just a principle. So that's one bulletproof tip. It's a contact sport. Once you have an idea, you decide to push it out into the marketplace, just out into the general world, just to be up and running. You want to get your first deal, or you want to be making $100K a month. You want to make $1 million a month, whatever it is. We ain't putting no limits. But the point is, you need to be out there and just go and go and going. That's one thing. Again, y'all know I talk a lot about the dialer. I like the dialer. I like being in the dialer because I think it's just you meet all type of people. You meet buyers, you meet sellers, you meet people who are you meet real estate agents who could help you bring you buyers. You meet you meet all type of people if you just go farm a particular area and just start talking to these people, right? So the point is, and you must understand that it is a contact sport, right? You got to contact people. You got to call people, talk to people, go drive for dollars. You see some contractors, hop out. I did that earlier today. Yo, Jay. Yo, dude, Jay, got to hit me up, man. We going to get back at it, Jay, because speaking of contact sport, Jay is listen, some people, they need some work. if you're not where you at when it comes to talking to people, talking to sellers and contacting them, that's okay. Some people are just naturals. Jay is a natural, brother. Jay is a natural on the phones. When Jay get to talking to people, he's a natural. He's just like, they just open up. I'm telling you now. So Jay is one of those people who just got it. You know what I mean? As far as talking to people. But there are other factors that you need to have in this business, like drive and straight passion and just force, on a lot of things. That's something to keep in mind, because you're going to meet resistance when you contact people. You're going to contact people, and you could be the best, the smoothest gift of gab haver in the world. You can have all the answers and solutions for that particular person, but that person is going to give you resistance. The market, the economy, the challenges, your wife, your spouse, your partner, or just flat out your baby mama across town, she giving you resistance. So you got to have determining, with like a focused drive that allows you to push through all of the turbulence, right? And so that's something to keep in mind when it comes to this bulletproof wholesaling, or just bulletproof business principles in general, right? No matter what the market's doing, good or bad, up or down, left or right, you got to be willing to keep going, regardless, right? And so I wanted to say that because today I was driving to the store real quick, and then I saw some people doing some construction in my neighborhood, or excuse me, they obviously was doing a flip. I hopped out. I was like, "Hey, yo, are y'all y'all working on the property? Are you the owner?" He's like, "No." And it so happened the owner was pulling up behind me, right? And I was like, "Okay." And it was a lady, and I was like, "Oh." Not to be, judgmental or nothing like that, but it's just like, usually when you approach, my thing is this, and let me know if any of y'all have this problem. If I approach a lady, it could be genuinely on business, but how do they know I'm not trying to flirt with them? And I'm just talking real. Like with the sellers, I get it. I approach them under the context of, I'm reaching out to you about your house. But I just pull up to some woman. She's like, "Who are you? Why are you trying to talk to me?" And I'm like, "Listen, it's not that. It's not that at all. I'm talking about the house." Because dudes, some guys get real creative. They lie about the property when y'all really want the woman. So keep it in mind. So, but I was like, whatever. And she was not receptive, whatever. Because I do a lot of stuff over the phone, and she's just like, I could tell she took my information. She'll probably never call me, but it takes more than just one stop. It takes more than just one approach. It takes more than just one reach out. Just like it takes more than just one call. It takes more than one text. It takes more than one lead. It takes a lot. And you got to be willing to do a lot. And so I could easily get discouraged and be like, dang, I don't think she going, you know what I'm saying? I reached out on that seller. Maybe I should stop driving for dollars. Or next time I see some people flipping a property, I shouldn't get out and talk to. No. Maybe I should talk to 10 more. Maybe I should keep going. I was going to the store. Maybe I should make this a mission to go to see 10 more properties that's being flipped in the area and pop out on each one of them. Maybe I should 10 times that and just do it as much as I can and figure out how over the next week I can hit 100 properties. Like, that's the mindset you got to have. It's a contact sport. You got to be hitting people and hitting people and hitting people. It's very important. Exactly. They do take approaches different. But that's, again, if they don't want to talk to you, they don't want to talk to you. And the real ones that's really trying to figure out, they trying to get to business they understand. And so you can always be sharpening and refining and improving on your approach. So that way, when you approach sellers, when you approach male or female, young or old, real estate agent, not real estate agent, investor, seller, I'm a retired landlord, or I just inherited this property. I don't know what I'm doing with it. I don't know. You can approach anybody because you understand people, right? And so that's the thing. You can always improve and get better, but you can only be so good. It's just about putting up the shots, and making the calls, making the contacts. You spend all day on the phone anyhow. Yeah, shout out to anybody who knows that commercial that I'm talking about. But a couple other things that we like, that's a principle. It's just like putting up the shots, and just don't get discouraged when you meet resistance. 10x it. Matter of fact, if you try something and it don't work, say, dang, before I say this isn't what I need to be doing, let me try doing it 10 more times and then make an assessment and maybe I should change direction. Maybe 10x it, right? Instead, maybe it wasn't that you did it wrong, you just didn't do it enough. Honestly, that's what it is a lot of times. That's a principle. Another thing that we noticed today, we're working on some deals. We had a couple deals come down the pipeline just in South Georgia. Slum properties. Honestly, I'm keeping real with you. There was some slum type properties. So we're thinking, I wouldn't buy this. Byron wouldn't buy this. Nobody would buy this. We found the right buyer, a guy who says, this is right up my alley. This is exactly what I'm buying. I live here in this little city. So yeah, I love these type of properties. I got a lot of them already and I'm looking to buy more. Then we found that guy. He went to go look at the property that we wanted him to see. And was like, hey, by the way, we actually got 2 other properties. We got this property and we got another property that you might be interested in. He interested in buying all of them, right? Here's another bulletproof wholesaling tip is as long as you got the buyer, the right buyer can open up a lot of doors for you because the buyer is the money. That's why we always make a point of go get the buyer first, right? That's why we always make a point of like start marketing where you know you have buyers at. That's important. But if you get in an area and you got like 2-3 deals or leads over here, you're like, man, I don't know. It's not when you get a deal and like your traditional buyers, they're like, nah, it's not a deal. It's not a deal. That doesn't mean it's not a deal. That's more contacts that you need to make because that's turbulence that you're running into. Maybe you just need to find the right buyer who will make it a deal, right? That's something to consider. Maybe you just haven't found the right buyer yet. Maybe you just simply ain't done enough. It ain't that this ain't for you. It's not that this isn't the right way. You're not taking the right action. Maybe it's simply you're not taking the right amount of action. That's something that takes a long time to really wrap your mind around. And even once you get wind of this and you start taking your stuff to the next level, you get your first deal, you start getting deals consistently. Even if you're doing 100K a month, you got to understand that to go from 100K a month to 1 million a month, you got to increase your action, increase the volume. So it's always a level. I got to contact more people, do more contacts. I got to do more. I got to be willing to do more all the time in all ways. That is a principle of this business. You know what I mean? Something to consider. So just keep pressing and things will come to fruition. Things will come along for sure. So y'all got to keep that in mind. Other bulletproof wholesaling things that I think we're noticing is the fact that our job is to meet people's needs. And as long as you can set the right expectation, hey, this is what I think I mentioned it yesterday, but I'm saying like, as long as we can come to an agreement on the price, we can be as accommodating as possible. And people are hearing that and it's working a lot, but being accommodating as possible means a lot of different things in this business. I'm telling you, being accommodating as possible in this business isn't just cash offer all the time. I had a seller text me earlier, They hit me up and said, hey, would you assume our mortgage and pay us some money at closing? This was Pace More. Y'all, I know some of y'all probably watch Pace Morby or just people who do subject twos, owner financing and things like that. These creative deals, they reached out to me for a creative deal because they had been on the market. They realized the cash offer wouldn't get them what they wanted, and they were trying to make it beneficial to us. And so being accommodating as possible equals, am I willing to do a creative deal, or am I willing to find the right buyer who will assume their mortgage and so on and so forth if I don't want to do it myself, right? Being accommodating doesn't always mean get them a cash offer. Being accommodating can sometimes mean willing to deal with their crackhead brother that's living in that property. That happened today too. You know what I'm saying? Today is a crazy day. You wake up early and start hitting these phones and start making these contacts. Days be crazy, bro. Days be crazy just talking to sellers all day long, right? And so you gotta be willing to solve people's problems. That is, if you can solve people's problems, you got a bulletproof business, period. At the end of the day, good market, bad market, up market, down market, left market, right market, wholesaling. I mean, you want to be in a good market. You want to be in a growing market. And what I mean by market, I mean like a growing industry. Like you don't want to be selling cassette tapes. I mean, that's not what we do. Technology is growing and advancing. We're not doing cassettes anymore. So you don't want to be in that industry. It's dead. It's dying or dead. But if you were solving that, but that kind of makes the market dying or dead or living or thriving or growing. Is it solving problems on a large scale or filling a void that people feel like they need, right? And as long as you're able to do that with your business, you're bulletproof. Nothing, no matter what happens, it's just like, even if the economy crash, just you got to understand the in 2008, the housing market, well, the economy altogether tanked. It crashed. It was a lending crisis, and the prices of real estate dropped to the bottom. People couldn't even sell it. And look what happened in 2020 and 2021. Houses was the same houses that was worth. It's because no matter what's happening, real estate, like nobody, we not all gonna be like, you know what, we should all just stop sleeping in houses. That's it. We should all just start sleeping outside or sleeping in teepees or something like that. Like we all gonna need real estate. It's always gonna fill a void. It's always gonna solve a problem. People always gonna need food. People's always gonna need medical attention. That's why doctors make a lot of money, no matter what the economy is, no matter what the market is. And so that's what's gonna make you bulletproof, is to be able to solve problems. And once you set your mind on that, then you're like, how can I solve problems? So solving problems might equate to, man, I need to load up my buyer's list. I need to call some more agents, call some more investors in the area. I need to call some more hedge fund companies, because the more buyers I got, the more problems I can solve for these sellers when they come in. Whether I'm door knocking, PPL, I got my own Google AdWords set up, whether I got my own cold calling set up, whatever it is, whatever you're doing, it's just like, if I got the right buyers, I can always, it's just a funnel. I can do more stuff with it. And we're talking wholesaling here. If you want to buy properties yourself, that's even more value that you can add to the seller. You're skipping steps. You know what I'm saying? So if you go, for example, if you go get your real estate license, now when you get a seller, the same sellers that you're already marketing to, that you're already trying to find, if they do need to sell the property and you're like, cash offer don't work, I could list it for you. I got my license. You want me to list it for you? Like, yeah, that would be wonderful. Instead of me trying to find a trash agent, you could do it because you're better. You know what I mean? So you got to keep that in mind. Take that into consideration. You know what I'm saying? So things that make you bulletproof: contacts. Contacts equal contracts. Talk to more people. And when you meet resistance, do more, not less. I know, depending on where you're at mentally, that might feel like, dang, dude, it's just like, I feel like life, I already got a lot going on in my life, or I just don't even really, but like, I feel like I'd much rather, at the end of the day, I'd rather like hide than go talk to 10,000 more people. You know what I mean? But once you flip that switch behind your eyes in the back of your mind, it's just like, then you realize, actually, you take power into your own hands, and you can do whatever you got to do to win. Like, you can do it. And 9 times out of 10, it actually requires you to be more involved instead of less involved when you meet resistance. Something to think about. All money in, CEO. That means that getting money is the life I chose. Skirt, skirt. Yeah, the CEO in the building, y'all. It's definitely a special guest, man. Appreciate having you, dude. But I was just coming on here. Again, CEO, you already know what Byron's doing, man. I don't know. Maybe he's paying somebody to count his money at this point, whatever. But I did want to give y'all a couple tips and just experiences that we're noticing now in this market. That because I'm not a I'm not what an economist 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 economist. Like I'm not a major. I don't do this, but just naturally I pay attention to this stuff a lot. And what I will say is I think the market is going to change. When I'm noticing, just keeping my ear to the street, I'm talking to the sellers. I'm noticing. I talk to lenders. I'm talking to real estate agents. I'm talking to people in the business. This is another value of your network, right? The more time you spend calling and reaching out and building buyers and contacting people, is that way you don't have to be a economist. You don't have to be watch any YouTube video and them tell you what's going to happen in the market. You'll be able to see what's going on because you in it. If you see foreclosures piling up, you can say it's like nobody will tell you, and you're gonna see by the time it's on the news, bro. You too late. If you didn't know it before it got to the news, you're too late. Because we all know when the news start talking about stuff, brother, it already happened. You know what I'm saying? So if you got your ear to the street and you really in this and you do this every day and you're talking to the sellers, then you got your finger on the pulse. You know what's going on. And you see more foreclosures piling up, more people not getting money, more people like, I think things will continue to change. I say all that to say this. I think things will continue to change. And 2021, beginning of 2022 was like great. And then they start hiking up the interest rates and all of that stuff. And then we've been in a tight, condensed market with limited transactions these past couple years. I think that there's going to be more inventory flooding the market. I think more foreclosures will come up. I think more short sales will come up. That's what I think, just from what I'm hearing, because more people, credit card debt is piling up. Americans still spending money, spending, but everything is way more expensive. And so they're trying to maintain this lifestyle. And it's just like, dude, stuff is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And I think that's going to have an effect. So that when one bad thing happens to a seller, it's like, dang, I got to get rid of the house now. And that's going to happen. So you need to be able to pivot, but you also need some bulletproof strategies. Like, what are some things that I know that as long as I'm always doing this, whether the market's doing that, whether it's doing what it's doing now, what it was doing over here, what are some things that I always need to be doing that will ensure I'm unstoppable, that will ensure that I'm bulletproof? Contacts equal contracts. That's one for sure. Byron's kicking his feet up, installing clean water wells in third world countries from the next iPad that's not released yet. I think that's crazy. That's the craziest one because I think he actually is. I know. Listen, Byron be doing stuff in other countries. I'm just gonna let you know that now. Byron takes care of his VAs. He be taking care. He be doing stuff for his VAs now. Byron be doing stuff for his VAs. I'll be like, dang, Byron, so what happened? He said, oh, yeah, my VA needed a new car, so I sent him. Huh? Byron, man, I need a new car. You know what I'm saying? But that's because Byron keeps these basic principles to remain bulletproof, to stay solid. Byron is going to keep his contacts up. Byron is constantly figuring out, how can I do more contacts? How can I get more quality leads? That's another thing I wanted to say, is that make you bulletproof. Is if you're getting quality leads, quality conversations, that's different than just talking to just any old body. Old, outdated information, expired phone numbers that people done sold it or they don't own it no more, yada, yada, yada. Never was interested to begin with. Or you got leads that so-called leads and it really is FISBOs. You call it on-market properties or for sale by owners, and everybody inherently is stubborn, right? They don't want to sell their property for a discount. They barely want to sell it at all. But if you give me, it's worth 300, but if you give me 500, like that's not. So Byron's constantly, how can I get quality leads? And I need more. Period. Like that's what we're thinking about, is just getting more. That's why Byron is installing clean water wells in third world countries from that iPad 77. I think I'm not sure how new. It goes deep, right? And also keeping in mind this is that all of this start from setting goals, though, setting big, lofty goals. Like it's not even, I say setting goals, but I feel like that's like a cliche. Like we hear that, like set your goals, and like you even hear that back in elementary school. Like what are your goals for this? It's like on New Year's. I think it's really just about setting your intentions. That's powerful. I think that's far more powerful than just setting goals. Setting your intentions up in a manner that's like I wake up with the intention that I'm gonna get a deal today. You know what I mean? I'm going to get a deal. Just like you wake up knowing, like, man, I'm gonna get something to eat. I'm gonna get some breakfast. I'm gonna get something to eat. Matter of fact, I was dreaming about it last night. I was dreaming about waking up and getting some French toast. I ain't had no French toast, but I had a dream about French toast. I'm gonna go get some French toast. Just as certain as you can be about that French toast, you need to be about getting a deal or whatever intention that you set for yourself. You need to be about getting 100K. And you start with the end in mind. Like Byron at the top of this year said, he want to do X amount of flips. I said I want to do X amount of wholesale deals, or just certain amount of flips, or a certain amount of a month or whatever. And then you work your way backwards. And what does that look like on a daily basis? So on and so forth. So it's more than just setting lofty goals. It's about setting those clear-cut intentions. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. Or hey, get rich or die trying. Yeah, we too used to goals never coming true in wholesale. You literally make your schedule, not a goal. You pencil it in until it happens and show up. 1000%. 1000%. It's just like don't separate yourself from your goal. Like really break this down on a granular level, like a day. If I say this is what I want to do for the year, or even over the next 10 years, you need to be able to break that down, work backwards, and figure out what that looks like every day. How many leads do I need to talk to every day to get to that goal? Like, if you're thinking, dang, that probably take a lot of time, it does. And it should. Like, you should spend a Saturday or a Sunday or something like that. Like, that's working on your business versus working in your business. That's what a lot of us do, CEOs. Like, we set the goal and then we go back into working in the business, and we work so diligently in the business. But we don't, we work diligently at the level that we at. Like, if we're used to getting like a deal a month and closing it, you'll say, I want to do 5 deals a month. And then you go back to working on at your 1 deal a month pace without taking the time to say, well, what things do I need to change on a daily basis that will take me from 1 deal a month to my 5 deal a month intention, my goals. You know what I'm saying? Reverse engineer the contracts you want. Yeah, the fallout rates, how many leads you're gonna have to close on, etc. Like based upon what you've done so far, how many cold calls did it take you to get to 1 deal? How many PPLs did it take you to get to 1 deal? How many doors did you have to knock to get to 1 deal? When I start a new thing, that's always my first thing. Is figuring out how many of these it took to get to 1 closed deal. That's the first KPI that I'm looking for. Like if I'm going to bring a new marketing channel on, I'm trying to figure out how many, if I wanted to start mailers, I would figure out how many mailers did it take me to get 1. So now I got a X amount to 1 ratio. And then from there, I can grow it, right? And then usually what I try to do after that is get the next 10 just to make sure the numbers were right. Because the more you get, the more your averages will get more precise and worked into, like, this is actually a solid rhythm that we can count on, right? So I'll try to get the X amount to 1 ratio. And then I say, okay, let's try to hit that again. If we took 1,000 cold calls, 10,000 cold calls to get 1 closed deal, then our goal now is to get 10,000 times 10, 100,000 cold calls from here, because that's, you know what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to do. And these are not my actual numbers. That's not my actual numbers, by the way, but I'm just giving you an idea for square numbers, as I say. Um, and once I figure out what's the ratio to one, then from there you can work everything else. Now, when you set your goals, you can say, "Well, I know it takes 1,000 cold calls to to get one closed deal. If I can do 1,000 cold calls in 1 week, I can get one deal a week. But if I want to get 5 deals a week, then I need to be making 5,000 cold calls in a week. So what do I need to do? I probably need to get more VAs or more people on the phones who's actually able to dial and cold call, train them up. Now I'm actively, okay, break out the huddle and let's go run the play. Let's go start getting more VAs, interviewing more VAs and bringing them on to the team, or making my systems clear. So that way, when I bring them on, they know exactly what they need to be doing. It's wash, rinse, repeat, that we can scale up to that 5,000 calls per week, right? And that way we can get the 5 deals that we need, that we're looking for, right? That's kind of how you set your intentions. You set your intentions, and then you got to back it up by actual, what are the numbers? What have the numbers been? Go back and look at it. And for those people, if you've never gotten any deal, then you could do the same. It's just like, it's not about adding a new marketing channel. It's just adding your first marketing channel. And so your first thing should be like, okay, now I need to analyze however many of whatever you decide to do. If it's PPL first, if it's cold call, if it's text, if it, my point, I'm not trying to nail anybody down, because one thing I also am realizing is everybody got their own thing. A lot of stuff work. I like PPL. It's good. But it's not the only thing that works. There's a lot of stuff that works, and you got to find your lane, like your marketing channel. But once you got that and say, this is what I'm going to do, hit it and hit it well. If you're going to knock doors because you ain't really got a lot of bread like that to be spending, you can go around knocking doors in your neighborhood, then let that be so. But your first thing need to be, how many doors do I need to knock to close one deal? And we can really go even deeper, because it would be, how many doors do I need to knock to generate one lead? And then how many leads do I need to generate to get one contract? How many contracts do I need to get one closed deal? And you can keep going deeper. How many contracts do I need to have to get one deal disposed? How many deal disposed? That means I got a contract with the seller and with the buyer sent to the title company. How many of those do I need to get to get officially a closed deal? Rewind that back if you need to go back and really think about that. But you can go deeper with the KPIs. But the gist is, I'm trying to connect how many, at the end of it, after you do all of that, then I cut out the middle and say, how many overall doors did I knock to get to one deal closed, like to money in my pocket, right? And so once you figure that out, then you can say, okay, well, what do I want to do here? Do I want to do 5 deals a week? I need to knock a lot of doors. I need to be hustling, right? You know what I'm saying? So just figure out whatever it is. That should be how you kind of set your goals off rip. It's just like, I need to get some data to back it up. Like CEO said, reverse engineer the contracts you want, their fallout rate, how many leads you're gonna have to close on, how many leads you're gonna have to generate from the outset. Again, if it's door knocking, if it's cold calling, if it's mailers, I send out 2,500 mailers, gets me one contract. And that one contract, I need 10 contracts to get one lead. And I'm just trying to give you guys examples of what stuff looks like. So that way you can start looking in your business and look back and say, well, what does mine look like? Or if you haven't done a deal at all, you can say, okay, where do I need to start to actually start setting these goals and turning my dreams into real reality, breaking it down on a day. Now you got something to push yourself. Now at a day you can say, all right, I know I can set my attention. You wake up and you're like, yeah, I got to go to work and I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to pay my bills and feed myself. But I also got to, just like I have to do everything else, I have to do these 100 cold calls, or I got to put out these 10 bandit signs a day, because I know I did the math, and the 10 bandit signs a day is going to get me to my one deal a month that I was trying to get originally. That was it. You see what I'm saying? So set your intentions, get rid of doubt. Don't have any doubt in what you're doing. Dog, if you got to watch these videos, if you got to connect with people that's really doing it, you can't be rocking with doubt. Because honestly, it ain't even just about saying, man, I need to wake up and put out my 10 bandit signs or my 1,000 cold calls every day. You know, when you really just turn that switch on, you like, I'm going to do as many cold calls as it takes. I'm just waking up. From the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, I'm on. I turn it on and it's on. It's up and it's stuck. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is. But if you really want to set your goals, that's a good way to, even if you in on mode, that's a good way to push yourself or challenge yourself. Because even like you be like, man, I'm trying to get better and better and better and better and better. When you read this book, I read this book called Relentless, and it's by Tim Grover, Michael Jordan's coach. Um, the Michael Jordan. You know what I'm talking about? The Michael Jordan. Not even his coach, excuse me, his personal trainer. So how do you take an athlete like Michael Jordan and take him to that next level that makes him a household name? Like, how do you take him there? He even says in the book, it's like, I can't train people on the basics. Like, if you, like, I can't really, I'm not a trainer to teach you how to dribble. But he talks about how all of the people he trained, from Michael Jordan to Dwayne Wade, Charles Barkley to Kobe Bryant, right? He has a story where he talks about how so specific and granular Kobe Bryant. These are people who they got that on switch. They got that dog in them, right? They ready to go. They got that dog in them. They ready to go, but they're trying to figure out, how can I get just a little bit? They know that 0.001% better will put them miles ahead of everybody else, right? And so Kobe Bryant, he would train his hand. He would train his thumb. He would work his thumb out just so he can grip the ball tighter, just so he can do more moves. He would train his thumb, and he would get his thumb a little bit stronger every time, on top of all of the other stuff he's working, right? Solo again tonight, bro. Solo again tonight, bro. You know, just in case you was wondering, Cass, shout out to Cass, by the way. Cass really, talking to you, Cass, the other Sunday, really like got me back thinking, you know what, a lot of these things, just like Cass is a prime example of somebody who, there are just some basic principles that's going to work. Staying consistent. Contacts equal contracts. And if you wake up and make sure that you're going to hit them contacts every day, I'm going to get in that dialer every day. I'm going to follow up with my PPL leads every day. I want to do this it doesn't matter what's going on or everywhere else, or what they think, or what's going on, and who's winning and who's not. I'm going to be winning. This is the bulletproof. This is how you ensure that you're unstoppable. And so when we was talking to you, Cass, I was like, yeah, man, I need to go ahead and get back. I need to get back to the basics. The basics. Because just doing the basics. I noticed something. Every time you do the basics, the greats never don't do the basics, by the way. Every time I'm doing the basics, I'm successful. But then you hear somebody like Cass, like, yeah, man, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And all it is simple. Just every day, I'm in the dialer. Every day, I spend the time here. Every day, I do this and I do my follow-up. This is all I do. You cannot lose. And so it's just about being able to set your goals and intentions to get just a little bit better every time. That's why you know your numbers. Because you set your intentions and it's just about putting the work in. But the more you know your numbers, you can get a little bit better every time. And you can challenge yourself. Because you might wake up and go as hard as possible. And that might get you 5,000 contacts for the day. Between you, your VAs, and everything that you got going on, all the motion you having. But if you really set your intention and say, hey, all I got to do to make an extra 10,000 a month, so equals almost an extra 100,000 a year, is to just do this a little bit more, just go a couple more notches up. I feel like anybody would be like, I can push myself to do that. I was doing 3 hours in a dialer, but I did the math. If I do 3 hours and 30 minutes in the dialer, I can get an extra 100,000 out the year. Or I was putting up, 15 bandit signs, or excuse me, I was putting up 50 bandit signs a week. But if I put 55 bandit signs up a week, I can do an extra 20, 250,000, extra $250,000 a year. It's like, I'm just giving examples, and I'm trying to show you the power of actually connecting to your numbers, setting your intentions, reworking them backwards, making sure you stick to these basic principles, time in, time out, day in, day out, even when you don't feel like it. It ain't even just about feeling good about doing it. It's just about ingraining that discipline and doing it. Just do it. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this, because this is the last thing I'm gonna say, man. I know y'all got bread to go make, sleep to catch, and money to make, and stuff to do. And I know Cass in a different time zone. So Cass, you know what I'm saying? Cass eating breakfast right now. But I'll say this is, a lot of times when people talk about excuses, they talk about excuses one or two ways. They'll talk about excuse like they're everything, and excuses are just like that. I can't grow. I can't do anything because I got these excuses. I got kids and I got that, yada, yada, yada. Or they will talk about excuses like, man, it don't matter. It don't matter. You don't got, just because you got kids, so what? Just because you got 2 jobs, so what? You need to make time, yada, yada, yada. Just stop being a punk. Man up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to go harder. Just because you got this, it don't. Really, honestly and truthfully, I think it's a little bit of both, really. One, most excuses that you can stop and come up with right now are actually valid excuses. They're actually valid reasons why you can't spend all day in the dialer. My back hurt, man. I got a crazy headache. I can't put that couple hours in the dialer right now. My head hurt. I probably wouldn't be no good in the dialer anyway. I got kids. I got to go pick up the kids, and I got a job, and I don't get off till late. I've been working all day. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, but here's the thing. Do it anyway. That's what's going to define your success or your failure. That's what's going to define your life, your story. That's the pen that's going to write your story, is do it anyway. You don't feel like it? Do it anyway. You had a great day? Do it anyway. Your homies is going to chill, and they say, hey, bro, once in a lifetime chance. Bro, this is a once in a lifetime chance, bro. We done pulled up to the park, and guess who was at the park? Kendrick Lamar was at the park, dude. He's here now. Come. I got to do it anyway. That's a valid reason to say, hold on, I'm going to pause the Cass in LA, Cass in California, somewhere in California. Kendrick Lamar, that's a good reason. Hold on, man, I might pause the dialer today. But if you got goals and intentions, do it anyway. I'll meet Kendrick Lamar after I hit all my goals, then we both got the same amount of money. We going to the same bank. Our kids going to the same school, same private school. Do it anyway, brother. That's all I'm saying is, like, excuses are valid. Every time you got an excuse, yeah, I'm not going to be the guy that tells you, so what? I'm going to be the guy that tells you that's the actual reason that you not to do this. But do it anyway, and you will be rewarded. Go regardless, against all odds, against what your brain is telling you, because it don't matter what everybody else is telling you. What you tell you is the most important thing. So that's why I said get rid of doubt. But more importantly, even when you got, just say, you got to figure out a way to tap into that, like that ingrained discipline into yourself that you say, I'm going to commit regardless. It's not about feeling good. I just want anybody, if you've never done a deal and you see all of us, like you see Cass doing what he's doing, you see the CEO, you see Byron, you're thinking, man, well, they winning. They doing it because they win. No, there'll be plenty of days where you, even if everything is good, it's like, I do not feel like doing it, but I'm doing it anyway. I got kids, I'm doing it anyway. I got 13 jobs, I'm doing it anyway. I got shot, I'm doing it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, do it anyway. That's all that matters. Like, I ain't gonna ever tell you your excuse ain't valid. It is. It is. Yeah, you're right. You do have a headache. You did go to work today. Do it anyway. Best advice ever, what people need to hear, man. For sure, 100% CEO, man. It's just like, get in that rhythm of discipline. It's not about feeling good. Just say, hey, I'm going to set my intentions. I'm going to set my goals based upon what I feel like I deserve. Because that's the thing. It's just about living at your full potential in life. It's like, if y'all on here, bro, at this time of night, any of the 6 people that's on here right now, y'all could be playing, y'all might be playing a game. You know what I'm saying? You might be on the PlayStation while you listen to this, but the point is, you could just be somewhere just not doing this. like not listening and not tuning in. Like, hey, you could not, y'all are here because y'all chasing a dream or an idea. Some people are further along, some people are further behind. But the point is, you set your intentions to be something. There's something inside you that's like, I got to be better than what I've been. I'm trying to learn something new. Even if you was a millionaire in a different industry and you're trying to figure out wholesaling, so you up in the middle of the night trying to, watching a podcast. It's like, come on, bro, because you believe in yourself. Something about you believe in yourself, even if your environment around you don't support it yet. And you're like, dang, yeah, I think I'm special, but at the end of the day, I still, living in my mom's basement, and she cussing me out about the orange juice again. It's like, that's the thing. It's just not living up to your full potential when you got it in you. Might as well tap into that. And it's going to be the do it anyway that actually gets you out of that. You got a lot of reasons not to, but you need to. You need to. Oh, we got the man, the myth, the legend. Still chasing my dreams, man. Fire still burning to be clean. That's Cordero, dude. I'm telling you now, man. Hey, Byron, I know you couldn't make the live today because you was counting your money. How did you get in your counting? You know what I'm saying? How, like, 7.8 million, 13. Oh, he said it, y'all. He said the count's still going up. He just keep counting. He don't know yet. He ain't stopped yet. But I'm telling you now, you know it. You know it. Just cut it out, man. But you know that. That's why you're here. So that's why anything that we talk about, any advice that we give, we just giving it out strictly out of, like, we know we've been there. And don't think because somebody has done more deals or has made more money in this business or in this industry that you can't identify with them on that level. It's hard. It's not easy, but you gotta go regardless. And I gave you some tips today on how to be bulletproof, man. He broke a he broke a finger counting that money, boy. He broke his finger on that money. Yeah, yeah. He got that. He got that AI regenerative. He just buy a new finger, actually. Just buy a new finger. But yeah, dog. Trying to tell y'all now. Go back and check this one. It's about some bulletproof principles that we have. That put y'all in the mind, like that let y'all know that no matter what go on, if y'all start hearing on the news, there's a recession, home prices are plummeting to an all-time. If you start hearing that in the next couple months, the next few years, or we never hear it, it don't matter. These are some principles. Contacts equal contracts. It's a contact sport that we playing, dog. The more people you talk to, the merrier everything is going to be. Consistency is your best friend. Consistency is your only friend, right? You know what I'm saying? Because nothing that we do won't matter if you're not consistent. And another thing, if you meet resistance, sometimes it's not about, dang, I'm not doing the right thing. It ain't for me. I done messed up. I done failed. Sometimes it means you need to go 10x. Sometimes, more often than not, in this business, in all business, when you meet resistance, it means you need to go harder. Especially if you already got proof of concept, especially if you already know it's real, go harder, not go the other direction. You need to. And yo, shout out to Illis Vlogs. I ain't seen your vlogs, but I need to check your vlogs out. Shout out to Illis Vlogs. I met a guy that's looking to buy commercial. He's a chiropractor, 26. We got to find him his first deal, man. And I am actively looking for commercial properties, man. I've set my intentions already. So I'm kind of laying the groundwork. All the stuff that we talk, also, we're not just talking it. This is what I live. This is the advice that I give to myself. And I've seen, that's what we do. So yeah, I'm looking for a commercial for a guy, chiropractor, 26, man. Some people just got good life, dude. Some people just make sound decisions. They got the right behind everything that they do. Boy, 26, he's a chiropractor, and he's looking to buy his first commercial deal. And I would love to be able to get him there. I want him to succeed, man. He can be like Don Peoples. Don Peoples did his first commercial development deal at the age of 26. The obstacle is the way. That's another bulletproof principle. It's when you hit a wall, you're like, dang. A lot of times it's not even just about hitting the wall and then like, I just don't. You just so hurt, so you don't feel like keep going. It's not about not feel like it. Sometimes in this business, you're going to hit moments where you confused, where you just flat out confused. You like, I don't even know. I don't know what to do with that L I just took. I don't even know what to tell you. Like, I don't even know what to do with that L. I don't even know what my next move is. I don't know what my first move is. And if you ain't done your first deal and you're thinking, I'm there, I don't know what my first move should be. Just know you could do 100 deals and then something happen. You like, dang, I don't know what my next move should be. It could happen. The market they mess around, raise the interest rates up on you. Got to know you like, dang, the stuff I was just doing ain't working no more. And I did X amount of deals off of that, and that's not working no more. What's my next move? So you're always going to be back there. So a great principle to keep in mind is the obstacle. Hold on, let me see if I can. The obstacle is the way. I'm telling you, what does that mean? It's like if you really start asking yourself the right quality questions, you're going to start getting the answer. The answer is in the question. It's basically what the obstacle is the way means. So he's like, man, I think I'm about to say how I get this money. Like on Friday when he like, man, I'm really trying to figure out how I'm gonna get this money, pay these. Yeah, huh? Man, I said, I'm really trying to. You gotta have that conversation with yourself like that, huh? So you like, dang, how do I cold call? If Cordero said cold call him about $200 for the dollar and another 170, that's 370. How I get extra 370? That's what you need to be doing. That your next step, the next thing that you need to be doing is getting 370. Well, how I'm gonna get? You know how to get $370 now. I mean, come on, that's for like let's say you've never done a deal. I can see it's like eating an elephant to figure out how to close my first deal and then turn it into a multi-mega $1 million business like Byron or like Cash or like the CEO. But you know what you can do is break it up into little bite-sized pieces and be like, okay, so if I need 370, I don't got 370, then what do I need to do? Go get 370. Well, if I had to go 370, I mess around, had to go get another job, or might even have to start door dashing, and I might have to, do some Uber or something like that. I might even have to hit my cousin up, ask him for some money, or my mama up for some money. If y'all like me, you couldn't ask your parents for money. Not even if they had it, they would give it to you. It's just they didn't have it. So I feel you, but I'm just making a point. It's just like, you know what you can do. Getting $370 is more bite-sized than saying, I got to do all of this. So you break it down and you're like, okay, well, I guess I need to go do. That's your answer. Go get a second job. Go deliver pizzas. Byron, you wouldn't go deliver pizzas, would you? If you really needed to get $370 and that could put you in a position to start making some cold calls and that could put you in a position to make $370,000, would you go deliver pizzas to do it? I don't know if Byron go start say, let me go deliver some pizzas to get that 370. Maybe like, dude, I don't even got a car, man. You walk, get your second job that you can walk to. It's something walking distance from you. You know what I'm saying? You can change. And every time you ask a question, the answer is in the question. The obstacle is the way. Instead of saying, dang, the excuse is in the way. No, obstacle courses are made to be ran through. Not to be, oh, dang, it's an obstacle course. That means we can't. No, the point is every time you get an obstacle, how do I get over it, around it, underneath it? You seen obstacle. Y'all seen Ninja Warrior. Y'all seen Ninja Warrior. You know what I'm saying? Where they climbing, they jumping on the balls, they doing this, pulling up ropes and climbing over. The whole point is the obstacle tells you what you need to do. If it's a wall, I need to go over the wall. If it's a ditch, I need to go underneath. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody who came through. Go back and check it, man. I hope y'all get some little inspiration. But Cass, bro, I flip burgers, drive Uber. Dude, Cass said throw dice up against the wall or something. But I'm getting it. You know what I'm saying? Antonio said, thanks for sharing, man. I appreciate you for coming, but absolutely, y'all, like, consider that. Do what you got to do. Because also that's temporary. A lot of times the biggest thing is we got to lower our pride or our ego or our sense of self-worth to go down. It's like, dude, I got $1 million dreams. You telling me I got to go flip burgers first? You flipping burgers first, not forever. That's the point. It's When you got a real plan, you ain't worried about who looking at you. When you really serious about this, you ain't even ashamed. Shame go out the window because you understand your intentions. Shame go out the window because you realize, man, I'm trying to do something, and so this is only temporary, and I'll be back again. You know what I mean? I'll be back again. I'll be where I said I need to be, and you're not ashamed to ask for help anymore, because you're really serious about it. So shout out to Antonio for coming through, man. I appreciate you for coming. Of course, Cass, man, throw dice up against the wall because you understand, you get it, man. REI next door. I don't know who this guy is, but I appreciate him for coming. What the owner of Speed to Lead said 2 weeks ago with the new regulations, print money. Hey, if they can. Shout out to Bobby Mack for coming, dude. Let's make a shout out to Bobby Mack for coming as always. For sure, shout out, to the GOAT, Byron Scott. Illest Vlogs, shout out to you for coming, man. And let's see who we got, man. Jay, again, some people just naturals. Some people just naturals, bro. Jay is a natural. But shout out to Jay coming through, man. We're going to get back at it, Jay, for sure. Just hit me up. Yeah, man. I appreciate everybody for coming. If y'all, let me 1-5. Yes, sir. Here goes let that come in. If y'all got any questions and y'all want to reach out to me directly, that's my IG. Hit me up on IG, dude. And Cordero Martin 615. If you want to join our team, as you can see, Jay and Jaden, those are two cats that joined the team. We got a lot going on. But in Wilden, I need to get back to you if you watch this as well. But just join me. If you got any questions, if you got any deals that you want us to help you work, find a buyer for, or you need help locking that seller down, reach out to me and let me know. If you got any questions about my script, you want to get a copy of my script, let me know. Reach out to me on IG. I'm gonna send it over to you, and we could probably pick a live where I can go over it, so that way everybody, answer everybody's questions. But Cordero is the illest when it comes to talking to sellers and closing deals, dude. I'll be trying to put my foot off into it. But yes, Byron is looking for flips. Listen, Byron said his intentions early in the year to do flips in Georgia. So if anybody, a lot of y'all cats be in the Georgia market, and it's easy to forget that Byron, you know what I'm saying, is also a cash buyer. And I'm talking about from what we say here in the South, from the rooter to the tutor, from the top to the bottom of Georgia. Dude is looking in crazy. People like, Byron, don't buy that, man. He be like, man, I got to. He be buying all type of things, man. So if you got a deal, it's worth sending it over. If you got any leads or deals in the Middle Tennessee area, let me know. If you need some help, if you can get it off, then you know what I'm saying, I'm going to sit off in the corner. I'm just going to watch you get it off. I'm going to cry a little bit, you know what I'm saying, because I could have got that deal. This is my city. This is my town. It's my turf. So if you getting it off like that, I'm going to be hurt. I'm just playing, man. There's no shortage of success. For sure not. But if you do got a deal in Atlanta or in Georgia or Middle Tennessee, and you want me to take a look at it, you want some help closing it, please let me know. And we are looking for commercials. We are looking for commercial properties. We actually are looking for commercial properties, not even just for that buyer that Byron's talking about. That's just kind of the our next venture, the intentions that we're setting. So both in Tennessee and in Georgia. So, and you got to get particular, not just commercial. I'm not looking for retail. Me personally, I'm not looking for retail. I'm looking for big multifamily apartment complexes. So if you guys got any lead on any of those, please feel free to reach out to us for sure. Dude, smoother than a mug. You got to play some of your calls tomorrow. Man, I'm trying to get one of the calls on the live, but definitely we can play some of the calls. Y'all can ask some questions. We can go over it, how to talk to sellers, and so on and so forth. We'll do that more. But I appreciate everybody for coming on. Thank y'all. And good night. Have a good one. But remember, stay hard. Stay hard.